Okay, so I fully expect this video to probably get like one, maybe two views on this because this is something that I've wanted to talk about, and it's something that I've learned about a couple of weeks ago, and this has almost nothing to do with any of the other content I've posted on this video, so I fully expect this video to probably not even do well with the algorithm, or maybe not many people might like this, but basically this is YouTube advice that I've heard a couple of weeks ago. And for anyone that is watching this, and that might be a small YouTube content creator, whether you're someone trying to grow on YouTube, or whether it's just content creation in general, this is something that I, as a small YouTuber, have heard, and it's something that I've wanted to share. Now, before I share you what the tip is, and by the way, I'm not going to edit this video. It is going to be just this, just me talking, not going to edit it. If I make mistakes, I make mistakes. It is what it is, because at the end of the day, we're all human. But the example I wanted to give is I want you to think of a cereal box. Now, let's say you are in the mood for buying some more cereal. You go to the store and you go down the cereal aisle. You see cereal boxes that you are currently familiar with. You see cereal boxes that you used to see as a kid, and you don't buy it anymore because either A, it's too sugary and you don't need a bunch of sugar, or two, it just doesn't appeal to you anymore like it did when you were a kid. Or maybe C, it's something that you've heard about, but it just never has really made you want to buy it. I want you to think about your content like the outside of a cereal box. And let's say some random person goes down the cereal aisle looking for cereal and they see your box. When they see your box, they might see a couple of things. They're going to see the title of the box, like what your brand is. Then they're going to see, does this cereal entice them? What kind of cereal is it? Who does it appeal to? What are the nutrition facts? Is it like a protein cereal? Or is it one of the other millions of other cereal brands that are but they're sugary? Or is it overpriced? Because with the economy the way it is, one big driving point about anything is how much does it cost? Is it priced fairly? Will someone can buy it? Or is it too expensive? It doesn't matter how good the cereal on the inside is, because people don't see that before they buy the cereal. They see the outside of the box, and then they make a decision. Should I buy that cereal, or should I just keep moving along trying to find something else? That is basically YouTube videos as a whole. And one of the things that I've had to learn, and we're going to get into this with the truth I had to learn, but when you make YouTube videos, and I'll talk about this, it is not just making a good video. You do need to make a good video, but the three things that people see with your YouTube videos before they even click on it, these three are vital when it comes to if your video is going to do well or if your video is going to flop like millions of videos have, like a bunch of my videos have. Trust me, I've had videos that have completely flopped, so I know what it feels like. So, the three things: idea, title, thumbnail. If your idea is something that not a lot of people have done, but it really isn't interesting, then people aren't going to click on the video. If you have a bad title, if it's just too vague, if it's a title that doesn't really appeal to anyone, if it's a title that doesn't really grab anyone's attention, then they're not really going to click on the video because they, quite frankly, aren't really pulled by it. They don't feel anything when they see the title. And the big thing is thumbnail. And not just the design of the thumbnail too. Because I think a lot of YouTubers, they'll make a good looking thumbnail, but they won't think about, like, what does the viewer think about when they see the thumbnail? Do they feel anything? Do you make them feel curious? Do you make them feel like something that's already been done? Are you capitalizing on a trend? Are you taking a trend and making it your own? Or is it just a really good looking thumbnail, but just not feeling anything? You're not grabbing anyone by it. right? And again, these three are important. And this kind of also ties into the point I want to talk about. And the point I want to talk about is this. Don't make content only you like, but instead make content that spins off when an audience already enjoys. Now, hear me out when I say this. I do not mean to directly steal from people. I do not mean to just directly see what a big YouTuber is doing and literally copy word for word what they did, copy the thumbnail, and do that. Nobody likes a thief. However, there is a saying out there, and this is something that I've heard a lot, especially with me working the past couple of years, and now it started to click in. Good artists create. Great artists, they steal. And what I mean by this is the great artists, they see what is working and they ask themselves, one, can I do this? But the second question is, can I take what they did and spin it into something that would be interesting, not for the algorithm, but for the audience of people that I'm trying to target, right? Think about your YouTube video like a business idea, right? When you think about your YouTube video, you need to think about, are you solving a problem that people are looking for? Are you solving a problem that people are thinking about now? Are you solving a problem about this or that? Or are you falling into a trap that a lot of YouTube gurus will throw out there, which is make content that you're passionate about? Now, again, I'm not saying you shouldn't make content you're passionate about. If you really love a topic, you should talk about it, but you do need to also consider, is there an audience of people that are also into the topic you're passionate about? Because if there is, that is basically the target audience. That is who your videos are really for. Because YouTube isn't just necessarily making content you want to make. It's content that you want to make, and also is content that people find interesting and they click on the video. Just like with this video. This video is really for content creators who are struggling, like myself, like small YouTubers who are trying to find their way to YouTube success. And trust me, I've been doing YouTube since 2016. I even quit at one point. And I came back in 2018 because I wanted to try this a second time, and I've been going since. YouTube is hard. Trust me, it is hard. But this one idea has really made me start thinking about how I can be smart with YouTube. And again, it's not like this advice is just going to unlock your channel and you make a video and you just explode. I mean, you can. You absolutely can. But the odds of that happening are low because it's a lot of experimentation. It's a lot of trying to build up your channel and then make videos that audience is interested in, right? It's just like with this channel. I posted a bunch of DCI videos to this channel. Now, why did those DCI videos do well? Well, I believe the reason why is the idea, and mainly the idea was the main driver, because it's DCI shows. When I went to DCI Tupelo, when I went to DCI Hattiesburg, not every DCI fan can go to those shows. They are kind of regional, but DCI fans, every year, they look for shows, like marching band shows they can watch during the summer, because there's just not a lot of videos about them. And you want to see your favorite DCI corps, or your DCI marching band, whatever you want to call it. You want to track how your DCI group is doing. And there's just not a lot of videos about their shows. And so fans, like myself, will record the shows. Granted, it's not my content, so I got a copyright strike for it, which honestly is kind of fair, but regardless of that. The reason why those videos did well is because I was targeting people who were DCI fans. And I know as a DCI fan myself, that if I see videos about a marching band show, then I'm going to watch it because it's this year's production and there's just not many videos about it, right? And so that's what drives the demand for that content. And if you've ever heard anything about economics, you will hear about demand versus supply. When demand is high and supply is low, you have a big demand for content. But here's the one thing about YouTube that is hard. When there's a lot of supply and not a lot of demand, there's only so many people you can reach because there's a surplus of content and there's not really a demand for the content you might be making. And one video that I watched a couple weeks ago, and I have watched a bunch of YouTube guru videos. A lot of them are BS. A lot of them are just basic, vague stuff that teach you absolutely nothing. But this one video that I saw by Jay Klaus, he is a podcaster and he interviews big YouTubers. The one YouTuber he interviewed is a guy called Patty Galloway. And Patty Galloway went on this podcast to talk about YouTube strategy. And he didn't give the same basic advice of, oh, you need to do SEO, you need to, make your thumbnails look good. What he talks about is the idea. He talks about titles. He talks about thumbnails. And to back up what Patty Galloway has mentioned, it's not like Patty Galloway is a small YouTuber either. He has 500,000 subscribers, and he is a sought-after YouTube consultant. Patty knows what he's talking about. His clients have been Mr. Beast, Ryan Trahan, Jesser, 3 really big, and I would say they have all 3 exploded on YouTube because the content was interesting to a huge fan base, or it was interesting to a broad circle of an audience. And so, again, I am not a YouTube guru. I am not a YouTube growth expert by any means. I am still a small YouTuber. And so, again, if you find this video useful, let me know. And maybe if this video does do well, maybe I'll do more like this. So let me know if you find it helpful. Comment down below if it was or not.